Hello and welcome to another episode in the Godot Basics Tutorial Series. In this episode, we will be taking a look at adding and removing nodes from the scene tree. Let's start with the pseudocode of adding and removing nodes from the scene. So to add a node onto the scene tree, all we have to use is the add_child method, and it takes in a single parameter, which is a node object. The same is true for removing a node from the scene tree as well. To remove a node from the scene tree, we use the remove_child method followed by a single parameter, which is just a node object that is attached to the scene tree. A very important thing to keep in mind is that removing an object or node from the scene tree does not remove the node or object from memory. As we briefly talked about in the last episode and a little more in detail in the GDScript Fundamental Tutorial Series, I explained that you need to manually remove objects and nodes from the scene tree. And to remove an object, you use the free method. To remove a node, we use the q_free method, or at least it is preferred for a node to use the queue_free method. Some basic terminology. When a node is added to the scene tree, it is called an active node. Now, when we remove a node from the scene tree, it is referred to as an orphaned node as long as it's staying in memory. So keep that in mind. A node is an orphan node when removed from the scene tree but not deleted from memory. In this episode, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to walk through code with you and take a look at the debugger so we can see memory grow based on certain code. In the example, I'm going to be using a timer node. I'm going to add a timer node onto the scene tree. The timer node will do absolutely nothing. One thing to keep in mind is that the timer class inherits from the node class, and node class inherits from the object class, so we are free to use the queue_free method along with the free method depending on circumstances. However, in the example, I'll just be using the queue_free method. Let's get right to it. In this example, we will be going through 4 different methods. In the first method, we will be looking at just adding objects, or in this case, our timer node onto the scene tree. In the second function, we will be looking at adding a timer node and removing a timer node and seeing through the debugger how our memory looks. In the third example, we'll be looking at the same thing, adding and removing the timer node from the scene tree, but on top of that, we will be running the queue_free method directly. And lastly, we will be looking at the exact same thing of adding and removing a timer node, except we will be attaching a script onto it and seeing how our node behaves with a script with only the exit tree virtual method being used. And our code will be run inside the process virtual method. So we can see our code being continually added and continually removed as fast as possible so we can see the memory grow. So I'm going to go ahead and open the debugger. I'm going to click for the first example. We're going to look at nodes and we're going to look at memory. So in the first example, we'll just be adding our timer node onto the scene tree on every possible frame because we're running in the process method. We're trying to call this code as fast as possible. So let's begin. First, let's look at the remote. As you can see here, our local was just a root, but now that our code is running, look at all these timer nodes we're adding onto the scene tree. Now this is a rudimentary example, but I just wanted to show you that, well, for one thing, adding a child will have performance issues. And so if we go to monitors, look at our node. It keeps growing. We're at 2,000. We were at basically 1 node, or for example, a total of 2 nodes if you count the root viewport. However, now we're at 2,600 nodes on our scene tree. And on top of that, our memory has grown. But as you can see here, it just keeps growing. And that's what happens when we just add a child. We're not removing anything in this example. So let me go ahead and put a comment here so we can see what we're working with in the base stats. So if we take a look at our remote again, you can see that we just have 2 nodes, a root viewport and our node 2D, which we call root. And if we go to monitor, and if we go down, we only have 2 nodes. Now there's one thing I want to show you real quick. We're going to run this code again. Real fast, I just want to point out something, and that is that as our code keeps adding timers onto the scene tree, notice how our nodes increases, but our orphan nodes is at 0. And that's because we haven't removed anything from the scene tree. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So I'm going to add the second code in the process method. And if we take a look here, you'll notice that the first two lines are the exact same. We're creating a variable to hold our timer node object. And then on the second line of code, we are adding the timer node onto the scene tree, just like our first example. However, in this example, we are adding one more thing. We're going to remove our timer node from the scene tree. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. If we go to remote, notice how we only have two nodes, a root viewport and our node 2D. And you may be thinking, well, perfect. I'm probably keeping my memory low, and that is not true. I'm going to show you that now. So as you can see here, our nodes is still at 2. However, remember, when you remove a node from the scene tree, it becomes an orphaned node. So notice here, our orphan nodes is increasing, and that's not a good thing. As a matter of fact, if we come back to memory, you can see our memory is still growing. And this is a problem that many beginners face, and I will admit I also face this problem because in other frameworks or other languages, the memory management is done for you. However, Godot is giving you full control over how to remove something. Or rather, in Godot, you have to manually manage memory yourself. So just keep that in mind. Just because you are removing something from the scene tree does not mean that you are deleting it from memory. So let's go ahead and take a look at the third function. In the third function, we're going to create a timer node. We're going to instantiate a timer node. Then we're going to add our timer node onto the scene tree. We will then delete it. It's exactly the same 3 lines of code as our second function. However, the only difference is we are going to explicitly tell our timer node object to remove itself from memory when it is able to with the queue_free method. So I'm going to go ahead, change the code in the process, save that, and we are going to run the code. Let's take a look at the remote and notice how we only have 2 nodes on the scene tree. And if we go to debugger monitor, notice how our orphan nodes is 0. And that's because we are explicitly removing our timer node object from memory. And if you notice here, our nodes are only 2, the root viewport and the root node 2D. And if we go to memory, notice how our memory isn't changing. Now you may be thinking, what exactly is going on with our code? And we're doing the same process as our second function. However, because we're removing it from memory, you can see our memory is not getting affected. And I'm going to show you in slow motion what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and you can only use the free method in this example. You can't do it in the fourth example I'm about to show you later, but I just want to show you something. So we're going to go ahead and do something called filler, right? Because I'm going to actually show you through a line break or a breakpoint what exactly is going on behind the scenes with the queue_free. However, it's easier to show you if we use the free method. So we're going to add a breakpoint here, and we're going to go line by line, and we're going to take a look at how it looks like in memory. So as you can see here, the most important thing is our timer node. So our timer node is null. It hasn't been instantiated yet. However, we're calling the line that instantiates, and when it does, notice how we have an object ID. Basically, we are existing in memory at this point in time. However, if we keep going down and we remove the node from the scene tree, notice how we're still here. We still exist in memory, yet we just finished the remove child call. It's not until this line of code here when we explicitly free from memory. I do not recommend using the free method, but in this example, it will be easier to show you what's happening in code, but don't do it. Now, when we run the free method, we're gonna actually change this to null. And that's basically what we're doing. We went from having some object ID, basically a pointer in memory, and we just deleted that. And now that memory is gone, and it is removed not only from the scene tree, but removed from memory. And that's what queue-free method does. If you try to do this with queue-free, you're not going to see it, because basically Godot will handle that for you. And that's what I wanted to show you. By the way, I'm going to upload this to GitHub, so please feel free to play around with it. Now, lastly, we're going to test the fourth function, which is adding and removing a timer with a script. Now, in the last episode, we dealt with the exit tree virtual method. So if we take a look at our exit tree timer, this is the code we're going to attach to our timer class when it's instantiated. And it's a very simple function. All it is the exit tree, which gets called when we are removing our node from the scene tree. But this is the most important part. It is what I was trying to teach you in the last episode, and that is we are going to remove ourselves from memory. So again, keep in mind it's the queue-free method. If you use the free method here, you're going to basically cause an error. However, what's happening underneath is not important at this time. Just know that when you're using a node, we don't use the free virtual method that the object class passes to us. Instead, we use the queue-free method. So I'm going to change that back to queue-free. So again, our timer script only has one function, and we're removing ourselves from memory. Now let's go ahead and break down the fourth example. Now, we haven't changed anything really. We're still creating an object, in this case the timer node. We're still adding it, and we're removing it from the scene tree. However, we are not explicitly going to call the queue-free like we did in the third example. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to attach a script to it, and we're going to let the script deal with memory management, because in the script, we're calling the queue-free method inside exit tree, and exit tree gets called when we remove a node from the scene tree. And so in order to attach a script, I'm going to create an episode that deals with that. But for now, just know that these 2 lines of code will attach our script onto our newly created node. So let's go ahead and run it. As you can see here, we have no orphan nodes, so that's good. And on top of that, we only have 2 nodes, which is also good. And on top of that, our memory is not growing. And so in a sense, that is a win for us. Because one, we don't have to explicitly, in our example, we do not have to explicitly call the queue-free like we did in the third example. Instead, we let the script handle that with the queue-free over here. And that makes it easier for us as programmers, because when we're dealing with a class, we don't really want to worry if we're calling the queue-free. Instead, we let the script deal with that. And this is the important reason why we have the exit tree and the queue-free method. So as a beginner, you should be aiming to use this block of code in order to help you because of the problems we face with memory management. Now, that's basically it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for clicking the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. Now, don't worry about adding scripts to node classes in scene tree. I'm going to go over that in a future episode. Also, I'm going to upload this code onto GitHub, so look in the description down below. Go ahead and download this file and play around. Try to understand for yourself how memory grows and how we can deal with memory growth. And in the next episode, we'll be taking a look at memory management theory, at least the basics. Again, thank you for joining me in this episode. I look forward to seeing you in the next. Have an amazing day.